What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tales of the Underdog. And today I have somebody that I genuinely admire. I just met this gentleman not too long ago back at a Wes Watson mastermind, and we've hit it off since then. My good buddy Guerrero. Thank you so much, brother, for being here today. I appreciate it, man.
Oh, we made it happen, big dog. Thank you for having me here, man. Hey, man, it was meant to be.
Exactly.
13.
Brother. Yeah, I know, right? I know, man. But I appreciate you coming by, man. And really quick, I know I just met you not too long ago. I think it was in October at the mastermind with Wes.
Yeah.
And we hit it off right off the bat, brother. Like a lot of the guys there, you're a genuine individual, man. You're Hispanic. I've heard your story. We're about to get deep into it, but I was very intrigued with what you've done for so many individuals, brother, and so many people, the lives that you've changed in the fitness industry, and just kind of honing these individuals to changing their life by starting off with themselves and all that. But for us to getting into that, let's go back to your childhood and how you grew up. Did you grow up, with a silver spoon? Did you grow up struggling? How was that like for you?
Oh, man, shit, man. There's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, man. And it's like writing a book, big dog, but to make it simple and fast, and brief, man, I came from Mexico, at 4 years old. And, man, it was a struggle, My mom, shit, man, hard worker. She only gave us what she could. I had a stepdad. And it was tough. It was rough for her, the house that we lived in. I mean, it was stop and go, We're immigrants, That's where they used to, cruise by, stop by, make their money, and boom, hustle and jam, to different parts of the United States, And I seen a lot of movement. And, I mean, wow, we want that American dream. But once we get here, you find out that shit, man, it's not what you think that they painted to be, So you got to work your ass off, minimum wage, whatever, they were giving back then, which was nothing. Shit, man, we barely passing by,
Yeah.
Here, full of opportunities, but not enough, not enough teachers, not enough, knowledge that they were easy to, say, like, go and obtain themselves, So they only taught us what they knew,
Right.
And like I said, I don't point fingers or ever, blame it on my parents. They did what they could at the moment, and I just hustled my way out of there. I was always that kid that wanted more, maybe because of everything that I seen, that I got I got that eager desire to want more and wanted to become somebody. But at the same time, where we live, which it was Baldwin Park, not maybe about 20 minutes away from downtown LA, the outskirts of LA, rough city, it's a lot of gangs, and shit, man, we gravitate towards that, so a lot of, my message resonates with a lot of people because we come from the same background, just like as you did. I heard a little bit about your story, and they're similar, we came from, poverty,
Right.
Barely making ends meet. Who would have thought that, you're able to buy a house and, buy the car of your dreams. And nah, man, that, we live in disbelief that, a lot of times it's just, it's a dream,
Right. What do you think it was that gave you that desire, that you wanted more, that made you to who you are now? Like, was it somebody that you met, a book that you read, something that you saw on TV? Where did that desire come from?
I mean, well, I always wanted more, maybe because I wanted to become someone, because I never had it. I never had that role model as me growing up, and everything that I wanted was always a no, So that became something like, damn, man, we can't have nothing here. Kids going to school, having stuff, after, vacation, everybody goes back with all their, gear from Christmas. I never celebrated no holidays. That was like, I didn't know what a holiday was or a birthday, so I didn't have all that. So when you don't have something, you want it,
Right.
especially when you hear it in school. That's where you pretty much start getting, you start getting introduced to a lot of things that you're like, well, fuck, man, I don't have none of this shit at the pad. What's
Right.
going on with my family? You guys ain't stepping up to the table. So how come they have this and that, and we ain't getting nothing? Barely has some shoes that you better make it last. And all that, I think it creates that that anger in a good way if you know how to turn it around. Because a lot of people will cry about it and victimize. At a certain point.
Right. Right.
And that's why they're just people that always blame people, point fingers, and so I mean, as I was growing up, I had role models that I looked up to, but they weren't good role models. Obviously there were hustlers, there were gang members, there were people pushing weight, and I was fortunate enough that they took me in as a son, that I was laced up with a lot of knowledge, street knowledge, and which it made me think that I was cut above the rest. With a lot of not getting deeply involved with the gangs as being someone that is being used.
Right.
A
Right.
throwaway.
Right.
So I had that. That was a good thing that I was past that. That I was above that because of who I was around with and who laced me up and who brought me up as lacing me and grooming me up to become somebody higher.
Right.
So in a sense it helped me, but then it didn't. Because I mean it was not going to lead me to anything good. And but obviously throughout my journey and my mistakes, I learned my lesson that fuck, man. Like I said, I lost my freedom at a young age, and I think that's created more anger for me to like, fuck, I don't like this lifestyle. This is what I'm getting for fucking doing this. Like, fuck, I got to do something different. So it was all within my own thoughts and me, sitting, in solitude and thinking and always, like asking, like, nah, man, this is all we're getting? Like, like we're throwaways? Is, this what life's all about?
Yeah.
Like, shit, I ain't trying to end up here and being, you know, um, you know, listening to somebody else tell you what to do, I didn't like that shit,
Yeah.
and fuck, I missed all my years of high school because of that shit. So I started at a young age, fuck, with a lot of people that barely started getting introduced at 17, 18. I started at 13 years old already,
Oh shit.
so I learned quick and I hated it quick too,
Right.
so
Right. And when you say, for those people that don't know, you started gangbanging at 13, or when did you get introduced to that lifestyle?
that it was about 11. I was
Oh,
in the fifth
really?
grade already. Yeah, in the fifth grade already. Just because my neighbors, where I grew up, it was just a lot of a lot of gangs in that area. So my neighbors, it was an active pad. It was a house that you would consider just stop and go. A lot of movement going on. We had the movement with the immigrants, and they had the movement with the hustle. With the
Right.
drugs and all that shit. So always I was looking at all these cars pulled up. Cadillacs, whips. Homies getting out of prison. So that shit. It kind of like I gravitated towards that. I admire that shit. They're being, highly respected in the streets. They were a somebody. And being able to, have that, I wanted that. So that's, I mean, shit. Sad to say, we glorify that
Yeah.
shit. And they still do.
Yeah.
So that's what pulled me towards that. And like I said, that was the starting point for me to take that path. And as I kept, getting older and older, just got introduced to a lot more things, a lot more shit that got me in trouble. So at a young age, I mean, my mom wasn't putting up with that shit, so she actually put me in jail, which it was a good thing,
Yeah.
because at a certain point I was out of control.
Okay.
Like after throughout the my age that I was 4 years old, that I got here from Mexico till I was 10. It was all bad. It was a lot of anger, a lot of frustration with her. So she used to take it out on me. She used to I didn't understand it back then, but every time she had her issues. I mean, she has to take it out on somebody. So everybody that once you get so much anger and frustration build up, somebody's gonna get it,
Right,
and it
right.
was me, and I mean, I don't blame her for it, I mean, shit, if it helped her, I mean, she didn't know better, so all that build up within that time was what led me to like just find my own way. I'm out of here. I started fucking kicking it over here.
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
wrong crowd.
And did you have siblings?
Yeah, I had my brother and then my my little brother. So my brother, he's about 3 years younger, 2 years younger than me. Then I got my brother 4 years younger than me, and then my sister. So I got four siblings.
Okay.
So
And did they take that route of like the hood and chilling with the homies and all that?
fuck man, that shit eats me alive because my younger brother kind of did, and fuck man, I'm struggling for right now to pull him out of there, because it, and it's sad. Well, when they went and picked me up from Mexico, my mom already had my brother
Okay.
with my stepdad, but I mean, yeah, I mean it's he got it from me. I made it look so fucking cool that of course one of them is gonna gravitate towards that. Not my other brother. My other brother, he's into working out. He's a good kid. Not saying that my little brother ain't, but he kind of like he liked my lifestyle, and he's drinking a lot, and he has a family that is if he don't stop, I mean he's gonna lose it, and
Right.
and for me to get him to change is difficult because he knows me too good. So even though I've been in this path, this journey for 5 solid years, you still gotta. It's not enough to convince him, and he's seen me change.
Right.
He's seen me through all that. And my mom's like, man, you changed so many people. She's proud. She's happy because she sees me on YouTube and she tells her friends and she's proud of me. And not recently, about 3 months ago, she broke down. I went and visited her. I really don't visit her as much. But when I did, she broke down, which she never did. She told me sorry for the life that, I went through. But I was like, nah, man, because what I went through is what made me who I am today.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? And we started chopping it up, and I keep in contact and I communicate with her more often now because she's struggling now, with my brother, even though she's like, she wants me to talk to him, which I do, but it's hard for me to tell her, like, he's not going to listen.
Right.
He's going to learn the lesson. We got to pull away from that, from us hurting ourselves by trying to change somebody that's not willing to do it right now.
Yeah.
And it's tough. She don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
The
No,
mother
definitely.
doesn't want to hear that shit.
Yeah. That's how I am. I'm struggling with one of my brothers who's, same thing. I grew up with him. We did the whole thing. He unfortunately fell into drugs. He's still in drugs. He's just, in those hardcore drugs and just like mentally, he's just not there. He's just a bad influence.
Yeah.
I tried it, bro, and I had to cut him off again. I had to cut him off. Then I tried again, he was doing okay, and then he lapsed. And it was like he doesn't want it. He keeps choosing it. Unfortunately, it's that type of negativity is, I don't care how strong you are, it takes a toll on you. And I got my kids and I got my own to look after, and it's just tough. And I told him, like, until you genuinely want help, it's almost impossible for me to allow you back into my life,
It is. It's heartbreaking, big
Yeah.
dog. It is. It hurts my heart because, I played a big part, and it's just something that it pains me, and sometimes I'm strong when it comes to like telling somebody. It's not like I'm gonna do it in a soft way, and that's where like my wife even said like, man, you come at him strong, and I'm like, there's no other way he's gonna learn. I can't pamper. I can't sugarcoat it. I gotta come raw with it. He has to fucking listen that the hard way. Maybe that's not the way that I should be teaching him, but I mean that's how I learn. I mean either that or you're gonna fucking just throw your life away if you keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you took that route where you decided like to take the streets and hang out with the homies and just take that journey, how long did you do that for?
Oh shit, man! I did that shit throughout my fucking all my teenage years. Till I was 17. At 17, that was the last year I was property of the state. I went through all the camps, all the juvenile halls, all the up to Y8, just my life just wasted, you know. And I love school. You know, I used to go to school to talk to friends and people. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't have a girlfriend throughout that period of time. That was another shit that I was pissed because I wanted
Yeah.
a chick. You know, I
Yeah.
wanted to, you know, do shit like that, go out, take her out to the movies, this and that. I didn't have that. You know, till I got out, then I was like, "Fuck this, man!" I'm like, "Shit, I didn't got a girl, man. What the fuck's this shit?" You know?
Yeah.
No, man. You know, that was one of the things too that kind of like I was like sick with it. You know, I was already tired of it. Plus, I started doing, you know, a lot of drugs at a young age. I was getting burned out. You know,
Yeah.
fucking losing it. You know, getting all whack. You know, tweaked out and shit. You know, so that kind of helped me. You know, so I thank my mom for that because who knows where I end up.
When did you start feeling burned out? At what age? 17?
No, it was maybe about 16, you know, because I didn't learn. I went there and it kind of like fucking lit a fucking fire under my ass because I kept going back. It's like, I didn't learn the lesson. So, because when you get out, it's kind of like they look at you like a fucking, you know, like, oh man, this like they glorify you, you know, oh yeah, you went here, this and that. So they fucking pump your fucking head and your ego gets all fucking high and mighty. So now you're even kicking it harder because everybody's looking up to you. You know, they kind of praise you and yeah, man, that's what's up. And so you don't learn. You know,
Yeah.
all the shit that I said throughout my time that I was there. The first time that I went, oh man, I'm not gonna do this. I'll forget this. Oh mom, I'm sorry. You know, all this. I'm gonna be good. All I want is a home cooked meal, and I'll stay at home. All this fucking talk that we do, everybody does
Yeah.
that. Everybody that gets in there, they talk a good one till they get out here. They forget about everything they said. I'm a proven example. That's why I'm able to read people when all their excuses that they have, you know. I know myself so good that we're all similar, you know, when it comes to, you know, believing your own shit, you know.
So, so you're 16, 17, you're starting to get burned out. You're starting to realize, hey, this isn't the life that I want to live. Is that the turning point where you started to go into a different direction in your life?
Well, it was only, you know, a direction of me wanting a girlfriend, you know, wanting things, you know, like I wanted a car. Like I always hustled throughout that time though. Every time I always had money, so you know, always like my mom at 11 years old, and she'll even say like she stopped buying me clothes, like the little clothes that she had. I already had money to buy my own shit. You know, she didn't have to worry about that no more.
Right.
You know, at 11 years old, she always says like,
Were you
yeah.
pushing at that time?
Yeah, I was
No
already
shit, at
fucking hustling.
11?
Yeah, I was already, yeah.
Damn.
I was getting groomed by the OGs, man.
Yeah.
But you know, after a while, it's like they knew what they were doing. You know,
Yeah.
like come on, who's gonna really like trip on a kid? You know, nah, that's a perfect idea.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but this is our guy right here. If we lay some correctly, if we groom him the way he should, you're not using, you're not doing this. You know, they pretty much taught me, you know, like almost like if they were like if he was my dad, but at the same time, I mean, it wasn't towards like anything good. He just didn't want me to get all fucking strung on my own shit, well, on his shit, you know.
Right, right.
So, yeah, that's what it was, you know. I was taught, you know, to, you know, always, you know, carry myself well, respectful, because I was going to a lot of areas, you know. It wasn't like one particular gang. I was able to go everywhere.
Oh,
you
no
know?
shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, I was cut above the rest. I was that person that was able to, you know, cruise to any hood. That's why I know a lot of people.
But were you from a hood at that time?
I'll consider Baldwin Park. That's
Okay.
where I was born. Yeah.
So, bro, so you're 17. This is kind of where you're making in a sense of change of the things of the lifestyles in and out, coming in and out of juvenile hall and all that. I'm assuming it is an overnight thing, right? You're still gangbanging, you're still doing all that, you're still going through that transition. When, at what point were you like, okay, I need to better my life? You know what I mean? Like I need to like. I don't want to say necessarily you leave the gang life. I think that for most part who are and I was never a gangbanger, but I always hung around the hood and all that. And when you're in the hood, you're part of the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what they say, right?
You know what?
You can't get the hood off the you
yeah.
can take them off the hood, but you can get the hood off you. You know,
Yeah.
that's just still in you. You know,
Yeah.
you still you have that ingrained in you, you know. So
And to be honest with you, and tell me you don't agree, a part of me is I'm kind of glad that I grew up because, bro, some of these cats have no sense of danger around them or sense of like being book smart and street smart are two combinations that I love that I have. You know what I mean? Yeah,
oh
there's a lot of
that's
weird
power.
mistakes that I've done. But sometimes I'm in some situations where I'm like, nah, like my senses, some shit's gonna pop off, or like, nah, fuck this guy. This guy's fucking trying to play us or some shit like that. You know
Yes,
what I mean? Because
yes.
when you're a little too on one side of the book smart, people take advantage of you.
Uh,
I do not fucking let people fucking try to run me. I have respect for, and one thing that I come with is a lot of respect for
yeah,
people. You know, I
because you
give it
have the
before
street smart.
yeah,
Yeah,
before I ask for it. You know what I mean?
yeah, and you
I
get that from the streets. You
yeah,
got that from growing up in your environment
yeah,
because that's what they teach back then. You know,
yep,
it's all
yep,
about respect. That's
yeah,
what I was taught. That's what kind of kept me alive. You
yeah.
know, throughout the whole process and journey. You know, respect is a big thing. You know, and sometimes people that are book smart or that they're not too in tune with street, like they think everything's a joke and it ain't a fucking joke.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think
they
that's why they get popped off and like shit
oh
happens on the street
exactly.
and people are like, "Oh, what happened?" And it's like people don't understand.
Hmm.
It's weird because we were never taught as young about emotion, right? But most people kill or shit happens in a passion. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like something happens,
Yeah.
like you flip the wrong
Instant.
guy
Yeah.
off,
Hmm.
whatever it might be. I myself, like I genuinely, if I feel like I fucked up in one format or
Hmm.
another, hey, my bad. You know what I mean? Most of the time that shit diffuses shit if you understand. But if I'm like, man, fuck you, you know
Hmm.
what I mean? And
Hmm.
I escalate the situation, you never know where it could pop off with who you're
Hmm.
fucking with, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But people who genuinely understand that, hey, my bad, you know what I mean? If I did something,
Hmm.
in a sense of respect, like I tend to give it to
Yeah.
people, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you just don't know, man. And some
Yeah.
people are like, they run their mouths, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys are fucking crazy. And that's why you see
Oh
people
yeah.
get shot up in cars and streets and all that because they tend to just don't understand who's on the other side of that fence, you
Absolutely,
know?
absolutely. And I try to teach that to a lot of people, and I always try to put that out there, man. A lot of people there's some people that don't play, and obviously I'm trying to get those people to understand too. Hey, man, don't. There's a lot of people that I got a lot of homeboys that are fucking 5150s, man. They do not tolerate none of that shit, man. They'll fucking snap in a second. And but I even try to tell them too, like, hey, man, you're getting all worked up for somebody that's not even worth it. Come on, and then they laugh because they're like, tell me how many times have you not caught up to that car and it's maybe an old lady that didn't know what the hell she was doing, and they were like, or somebody that's innocent or a square. We'll call
Yeah,
them a square, or
yeah.
somebody that don't know any better, that probably just barely learning how to drive, and you're gonna catch a case for that shit. Fucking wake up, man. And they're like, fuck, you're right. I go, a lot of us, we get washed up because of our fucking, our temper,
Yeah.
In the moment, you're like a fucking ticking time bomb, and you serve people that they're not with it, they made a mistake. And you're over there fucking like, trying to fucking get them just because you have fucking anger issues, You can't control your temper. And a lot of they're like, I got some people that they'll be like, "Fuck, man, you're right," because I am. It's not that I'm trying to tell them like, I don't want to see them, catch a case. So I talk to a lot of these people in that manner because we don't stop and think like, they probably didn't even pay attention and they cut me off, and now all of a sudden I'm over there gonna, check them.
Yeah, yeah. So and it's true, bro. And I think that's one thing that I genuinely I think that I'm very blessed. Two things. One, I was able to get out of the situation and understand that there's a better life and opportunity for all of us, and that I taking that journey. And then two, the things that the street teaches you that nothing else can teach you. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
experiences, because I think that has avoided me a lot of things in business and in general in life, and how to handle situations.
Absolutely.
Because you can tell when somebody is street smart. You know what I mean? You can tell when you approach somebody or the way they react to
Hmm.
you when, hey, you need to give it back the way
Yeah.
they're giving it to you.
I could read people from a mile away, big.
Yeah.
I've been around some heavy hitters. I've been around people that are shady. You're able to pick them apart, and that's what helped me. The street smart, like you said, if you didn't have it, there's a lot of people that fuck, man, they get over on your ass,
Yep.
man. And you got to be sharp and be able to pinpoint that real quick, man. There's a lot of smooth operators out there, man,
Yeah.
that come in
I agree.
with a good mouthpiece, man, and I mean, shit, man. They get that shit in prison, man, and they come in here and just take everything you got, man. You know.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro. But so let's tap into. You wanted a girlfriend, bro. You didn't get the girlfriend when in that teenager years, man. But
Fuck,
here we
man.
are, 17. When did that girlfriend end up coming in?
Oh man, so I was like, fuck, I'm trying to get my shit back together. I go, I don't even know what the fuck to do, you know. So
Ah,
let me tell you this. Let me put this on here, man. My kind of like where I was already like thinking more of like, you know what, fuck this, uh, my mentor that laced me up, that actually, took me in under his wing, that I would call him like a father figure, and laced me up throughout the streets, man. They got him, man. And that shit fucking really, put a dent in my heart because, shit, man, it was through envy, through jealousy,
no
you know?
shit.
He was too up there, and then it's always going to be that other person that wants that spot, man. That's why it was like, what the fuck? That's when everything like sickened me, where like, that's how you're gonna do somebody that's fucking up there just because you want that, spot or that position, you know, or whatever it may be, conniving shit, coward shit, It fucking enraged me so bad that I was like, that ain't fucking, homeboy, or oh man, that's my boy, or this is, a person to that I could trust, you know
Yeah.
that and then that's like I said, that shit, it really, made me think a lot. Not that I left it completely
Right,
because I
right,
was too far in. Like, you
right.
can't just say, oh well, fuck, I'm nah, nah. So you got to know how to fucking, operate in a certain manner,
Right. And
uh
how old are you at
and
this time
play.
when what happened with your mentor?
I was I went back about probably about 16.
Okay.
Yeah, 16, man. And it was messed up, man. They set him up good, man. And it was a female that set him up, because nobody, a lot of times, there's cowardly men, they won't do it face to face, so they
Right.
won't tell you, hey, I don't like you, or hey, you know what, fuck, man, let's get down, man. Fuck no, man. There's a lot of people that they're scared, especially somebody that's has power,
Right.
They're not just gonna fucking confront you like that. You'll get wiped out. So they're always gonna do it in a fucking cowardly manner,
Yeah.
and so that's how that happened. And yeah, so through all that shit, went on. And then I was like, when the last time that I came out, I was like, fuck, man, what the fuck should I do? I tried to go back to adult school. So when I went back to adult school, I ran into one of well, it was my wife's sister, which
Okay.
I went to school with, because I only went to high school, ninth grade, for 3 months. Then I got picked up, and that was it. 3 months, I got a little taste of high school. I was like, yeah, high school is badass. I'm gonna make money here too, and that was it. But I met her, and I remember her. So I seen her in adult school. She was trying to get some credits to graduate and shit too. And I was like, hey man, what's up? She was like, hey, how you doing? And I go, hey, hook me up with one of your friends, because I knew her man, from a hood too, so I knew him pretty good. And she was like, I'll hook you up with my sister. I go, let me see a picture,
Yeah.
right away, and they
Yeah.
showed me a picture, and I go, she's older,
Okay.
than her. Her sister's my age,
Okay.
so her sister, my wife's 2 years older than me, even though she don't look it, but yeah. And that was it, man. She set it up, and I went to the pad and introduced myself. You know, by that time I had already, like me. I'm a fast, like real quick, like I'll get money. I pulled up with the car. I wasn't gonna pull up walking or the bus. No, I pulled up on my Regal. I had a 1984 Buick Regal, and I pulled up, man. And I met her. We took her out, and that was it. It was a wrap, man. So it was something that it was good, because I mean,
So she was your first girlfriend
well,
in a
yeah,
sense,
well,
like a
not. I wouldn't say that, because I did have something serious,
okay.
somebody that I really love, not just somebody that like one night stand, or somebody that
Right.
you. It was just like for a short period of time.
Okay.
I wanted like something where I could, build a family. I wanted kids. I
And you're
want
how old at this time when you met her?
17 and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, like no, I think almost
And
18.
you
I was
already
almost
were thinking about kids and family at that time?
Yeah, like I wanted that,
No
like
shit.
yeah, like I wanted that throughout, just thinking, sitting, and you know by myself for so long that it was like, damn, I want to like have like a family life, kind of like, like that's
Why do you think at that age you wanted that so like early in that?
because I didn't have all that I seen that all these kids had like their dad, their mom, you know. I had said to myself, I'm like, when I have kids, I'm gonna do the opposite of what the fuck was done to me. That shit was always in my head. Like, I'm not gonna leave my kids because my dad left me. I don't even know my dad.
Yeah.
I never even knew him. Um, so I always, had that in the back of my head, and then the way I was brought up, my mom was always mad. She had her issues, and you know, she even my like I said, there was a lot of families living at that pad. It was a stop and go, but I had my aunts and my uncles, and they used to tell her, "Why do you keep beating him? Why do you hit him? He didn't do nothing." She was like, "Don't tell me how to raise my kid, blah blah, whatever." Like they seen it, like everybody's seen it, but like to me, it's like, and I bring it up because a lot of people, they're going through that,
Right.
Not that to me that shit made me stronger, So I take it like, fuck, she already fucking broke me, like there's no fucking who's gonna break me. I'm already broken,
Yeah.
Like she just took all the fucking happiness away, boom, yanked
Yeah.
it out. It was just, oh, like a angry, pissed off, lost kid, But I was always, trying to get my hustle on.
Yeah.
I didn't really like sit too much in it. Where like, oh, I'm a fucking, cry about it. I just fuck
Is
it.
that why you said like you just connected with your mom? You're not too close to her at this point right now, or like you don't you're the connection, or because of
Yeah,
your past? You think?
yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, and I'm gonna say here because I know she's probably gonna listen to it, but I see her like, I don't want to disrupt their family that they have,
Yeah.
and it just feels awkward sometimes when I go there, It's like, and I go there when they're all at work, and I go have coffee with her and breakfast, and she knows this. So I mean, where I'm not saying nothing that that I'm pretty sure she's not gonna be like, oh, why you gotta say it like that,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is, I just don't feel that like I'm intruding,
Yeah.
Like they got their family, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
my kids, they're like, we haven't seen grandma for a while. I go, oh, we'll see her, like we'll do something, It feels like it's not all there, man.
Yeah.
People that that's why when you take that when you take that role of a step, that make sure that you're you take them as a son.
Yeah.
We're all son of God,
Yeah.
like you shouldn't see it as like it's not my blood, and that's where a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of relationship fail
Yeah.
when that girl comes with the package,
Yeah.
because
I agree. I agree. I took
yeah.
my son, who was 3, and he's 15 now, and even though through divorces, but like it doesn't change it.
Yeah,
That's my
why
son.
would
That's,
it?
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
and people right away,
Yeah.
they like, why'd you take that role then, man? All of a sudden, yeah, that shit, it's just it gets me heated, man, and because they suffer, the kids suffer, they go through all this fucking shit, and maybe because I went through it, and this is how I vent, but I see it, so that's why I said I'm doing fuck the opposite of like how I seen through my life, that I was treated, and other families treat their kids, and that's where I learned everything when I met my wife. That's why I think it locked me up real quick, man, because I seen a totally different like way of living, and kind of family orient, like like the way that they were about family,
Right.
it was like something that, oh shit, okay, this is something that I see like in a TV show, clothes and barbecues, and now we're celebrating Christmas, and
Yeah.
everything was weird. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
introduced to all that, and shit, she threw me my birthday, that I never had before,
Yeah. You know what's funny? When I turned, how old was I? I think I was 30 when I got married. I grew up a lot like where we didn't have like where you sit down at a table and everybody eats together. Like I didn't grow up like that. Like my dad would come late, drink a beer, sit on the couch. Like there was never like, oh, let's all eat.
Yeah.
Like you would see those
Like a
those,
family.
you see like that shit you would see like on fucking those
Full
like,
House or
I
something,
would always
huh?
be like, all these white people, like
Yeah.
how do they do this shit? You know what I mean? Like they always say like I remember the first time Cause my ex wife, she grew up a little bit different. So she was. I remember Thanksgiving. She was like, nobody's gonna eat until everything is ready, and that shit was weird to me.
Yeah.
Cause it was kind of like everybody grabs a little bit,
Yeah.
sits down, kids are
Yeah.
fucking everywhere and all
Yeah.
that. And I remember feeling like fulfilled.
Yeah.
Because I never had that, you know what I mean? I was
Yes.
like, wow, this is amazing. Like,
That's
does
why
this,
that's why you resonated a lot with my best.
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And I'm like, whoa, this shit's like, we're cutting the turkey, you know what I mean? We're giving grace and all
Yeah.
that shit. It was definitely like something that even myself, I always wanted because I went through the same thing. I had a father who was very abusive to my mom and all that. They divorced. I saw all the fighting and all that. We would like hide from him. I lived everywhere from the valley, La Puente, El Monte, all that stuff. You know what I mean? I traveled all
similar to
that.
me. Shit.
Yeah, I went to Franklin Junior High and then Belmont. All these other schools that I don't remember the exact names, but
So you were up in the SGV area.
yeah,
too.
SGV.
That's
For like
crazy.
5 years, I lived over there. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because when you talked about your mom and everything, like I at the end, even though I was really close to my mom when I was young, and she gave me the beat downs and the ways, and it's like as I got older, I kind of distanced myself because as you get, I'm sure like at least my mom was, they got older, like they're just more like bitter in a sense, you know what I mean, through all the shit, and it's just crazy because I love my mom and everything until she passed away, but I was just like, even my kids would be like, "Oh, why come we don't see grandma and everything?" Because it was just so draining, bro. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just we weren't allowed or taught to cry. You know what I mean? Like if my dad right now, if you see him, like it's very awkward for us to hug each other when he leaves
Oh,
or
I
stuff
know.
like that. Like it's
we
like
never had that. Not
like,
even my
we
mom.
don't hug, you know what I mean? It's just very like
Oh.
we're men, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's crazy because sometimes my girl, she catches me like with my kids. Like sometimes I just snap, and I was like, that's just how I grew up. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fuck, dude? Like I'm doing this shit right now.
Yeah, it's
and
funny.
she's like,
Yeah, that's
chill,
funny.
dude. Like he just asked you for this, and I catch myself because I try to take that habit away. But that's how I
I
grew
think
up.
it still triggers you.
Yeah,
you know?
that's how I
Yeah.
grew up. Like,
Yeah.
hey, like you know what I mean? Like, so it's funny to me when I see people like, hey, like you're in the corner, blah blah blah. Nah, you get a fucking putazo for falling and getting a putazo type
Yeah,
of deal. You know
yeah.
what I mean? But I try to change my habits of what I am because I tell myself like shit, dude. And when I work hard, like a lot of people say like, oh, why do you do this for your kids? Or they gotta learn the hard way. And it's like I get it because you want to teach them those values. But I think we try to like make up for what we didn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
well, absolutely. But the thing is that that was how we were raised. We were pretty much we were programmed, and that's all we knew. So now what we try to do, we got to modify it to a better version. Obviously, not we're like, oh, they're getting everything that we didn't have. That's where people go wrong. Like when they say, oh, I'm gonna give my kids. No, you got to teach them all the shit you weren't taught. Not give them everything that you didn't have. Yeah, you still give them here and there, but not to a point where like they don't have to work for it or they don't have to earn it.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Because I always had that in the back of my head. Well, I'm gonna lace them up and teach them everything that I wasn't taught, because now we have more resources. Now we're able to learn more. It's seek knowledge if we want to better ourselves. And that's what I'm teaching them. It's like they have their chores that they got to do, but obviously the way they're gonna get paid is by their value, which they're helping me,
Right.
and I'm able to pay them from what we're doing here. So this is like a family thing, but I'm creating that still that a responsibility, and knowing that, hey, you know what, in life everything's earned.
Yeah.
You just don't get shit for free.
Yeah.
You
No, I agree,
Because we
bro.
still have that. Me and you both have that. We didn't get shit for free.
Yeah.
Fuck, whatever we got, it's because we made it happen.
Yeah, I agree, bro. And I think that goes back into probably one of the biggest things that I admire about you, that I met from everybody that I met with Wes and at the event, was the fact, one, you're an OG and you come from the hood and all that. So I think that was very relatable to at least to me and you, because but two was your fitness. I know that and I know that Wes talked about it not too long ago, and he made a comment that kind of went viral, and I think when you hear it from the outside, I see why people would take it the wrong way about how he
man.
said.
I already know
how
where
he-
you're going. I
he
got
said that-
bombarded over that, man.
he
He gave
said
me
that-
the chills
that-
right now. He's
that-
probably going to listen to this guy. I go, you know, to that, and I hit my live's Q&As every Thursday.
Yeah.
They were waiting for me to
Yeah.
hit my live, man, because they know that, you know, I was the one that kicked it off with Wes.
Yeah.
I've been his first student that actually, you know, hit him up and told him, hey, teach me what you're doing,
Yeah.
you know? So me and him, we're close like that. I've been to a lot of his masterminds. So, of course,
Yeah.
I was getting bombarded with DMs. We're like, but you know what?
Yeah.
I flipped that shit because when one of the other coaches called me, and then I told him, like, yeah, man, they're I know they're hitting you up, and I seen that Q&A. They were, and I told on my live Q&A, I go, hey, you know what? That question, save it, man, because I know I'm going to have more. So I kept talking about fitness. I go, I'll come back to that question. And I just fucking made it simple. I go, you know what? That has no effect on me. It has effect on you because you know it fucking stings.
Yeah.
But let's change that shit. You know? They were like, fuck, man, you flip everything to fucking like a sales pitch. And I go, it's not a sales pitch, but I'm telling them, like, you know, he said what he said, you know, and that, you know, take it as, you know, waking your ass up and doing something about it, you know? Change that shit. Because I know I did. It didn't affect me, what he said. I trumped that already, you know?
And then going
And my team members.
Yeah,
I
and
go- I
so
go-
people know just, and I'm gonna quote it as best as possible. He said that a lot of essays is that correct? He said a lot of Mexicans or
Mexican, he
essays
said
Mexicans
Mexicans, yeah.
are not fit. You know what I mean, or don't have the genetics for it. And I think like. Because you know how Wes is. Wes will speak his mind with no filter, and he is who he is. And if you really know him and can accept the way he teaches stuff, he can change your life. I know he's done it for me and thousands of people. And the way I took it was because it didn't offend me. I get it where people came from, but I think what he was saying as a whole, because when me and you and majority of us come to this country or have generations of parents who have came from other countries, we're taught. You eat everything you fucking get, bro. Like I just barely started my journey, you know what I mean, in my fitness. But I was taught you eat, comes todo en el plato. You go to a party, the first thing before you play, you eat because there's nothing at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just because majority of us have came from poverty or have came from certain situations where we weren't educated about what's good for us, what's healthy for us, especially if you were born in the 90s, the way they talk about health now and like these juice bars, they didn't have that shit back then.
No.
You know what I mean?
They used to call us garbage disposal because we used to eat all the leftovers. They're like, you're not leaving nothing. Or they'll tell you to, you know, I even used to do that to my kids before. Like, I'm like, nah, give it to me. I'll eat it. I'm not going to, don't throw it in the trash. You know, that's a waste. You're wasting food, you know. It's because the way that we were brought up from poverty. So everything, like people don't, you know, like there's always a story behind it. There's always a reason why, you know. It's not that, you know, we're in ignorance, you know. We're in ignorance of not knowing that, hey, you know what? You can't eat like that, you know. You're going to have health problems, you know, issues, you know, which we created by lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
That's it, you know. And, I mean, I didn't take it, you know, in any way because, you know, there's different ethnicities that they're still dealing with that, you know. It's not just Mexicans.
Yeah.
He said Mexican, but he said some. Like everybody takes it out of content. Everybody wants to put it how it benefits them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But the thing is, two things about what he said. Two is he grew up in our generation, so our generations, that's how we speak. Mexicans, white boys, like that's how we are saying. You know what I mean? Even when we say fucking anything that has to do with like gay or stuff like people don't understand. That's a slang. I have all kinds of friends, but I don't. The way we speak is how we grew up. You know what I mean? And it's just. People don't understand. So going back to how he said it was when you people say Mexicans, they mean in general Hispanics. Like the way we are, our genetics is based off of our history of how we were raised, our food that we have. Nobody told us like, yo, eat this, eat that. Yeah. So for us, the 90s, right? Yeah. Now I'm sure this generation that's coming up is caught up with the times of the way health is coming up, and we'll tap into, you know, what you have going on, but like now it's like more like our kids, your kids, their kids are gonna come. They're still Mexican, but they're more educated about what's healthy, right? Blood work. Like I did my blood work like 6 months ago, and I'm like, You tell my dad right now that I did my blood work, he'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about, you weak ass?" Even though he has bad health.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
We don't even go to the doctor visits or checkup or
yeah.
all this. Like, hey, your yearly checkup. I'm like, I don't even think I have gotten a checkup in years still. You know?
Yeah, I'm like, if it doesn't hurt, I'm good, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
even if I could still, if I could still walk and get up, man, like, oh man, it'll go away. You know, that's how we are.
Yeah.
Even now, as me beating my butt, my body up so bad, by lifting weights and working out. One time I went to get a massage, and the lady was like, "Damn, man, you're tense. You don't get worked on?" He's all like, "No, I never had this. Like I just don't make time for it. You know." He's like, "Well, you know that the athletes get all this. They treat their bodies, like they treat it when they're playing or working out. Like you got to come in and actually treat it also, and so it could heal. And I was like, no, I really don't trip on that.
Yeah.
That's not the way we are, though, man. We hardly
And that's
go to-
funny that you say that, because every time we go get a massage, like I'm just like, I have to have a certain, and my girl's always like, why don't you have a dude? I was like, that's not how I grew up. I can't have no fucking vato fucking massaging me. I'm sorry, dude. You know what I mean?
It's too much sugar in this
but
tank,
she's
man.
like, what's
Go
wrong with you?
sideways.
She's younger, so she's like, what's wrong? I was like, that's just how I grew up. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up, my dad not, like, we never, like, hug chest to chest. Like, we don't, I've never, like, it's weird for us, you know what I mean? Sometimes I force it upon him if he's going to go on a long trip, but, like, we didn't grow up like that.
No.
We didn't grow like, we fell, we cried. He
My
would
mom
be like,
shakes
"Get
my
up,
head.
bro."
I'm like, Mom. If my wife's like, you shake your mom's hand, you give her a hug, and I'm like, she doesn't want that. She's not used to that.
Yeah, dude.
You
And
know?
it's like people don't understand that. You know what I mean? It's a dying generation of what we grew up, because we're some of the last. The way even my kids, the way everything is for them now, it's very different. But I tell them like, hey. Respect for everything. You hold people's door open. You hold strangers' door open. You say yes, thank you. You introduce yourself.
Yeah.
That's all shit that I'm like, you cannot lose that, man.
No.
Because in this world, like, respect is everything, man. Like, you have to give respect. You know what I mean? Are there's gonna be shitty people that are gonna treat you bad? Yeah, but don't be the shitty person that's giving it to other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you gotta stand your ground for whatever it is in situations that people put you in, and that's a different story. But
Yeah, don't get sucked in
yeah.
into their beliefs and their, the way they carry themselves. Yeah, and that's where people do. They're like, well, he didn't shake my hand. He didn't look in my eyes. Now you're bitter about it,
Yeah.
No.
And then going back to like Wes's comment and all that, when I heard that, I instantly understood, because people would ask me, and I was like, "Isn't that your question?" I was like, "You don't I'm like, you don't understand." I'm like, some people are quick to listen just to talk back, you know what I mean? Or like they just want to give their opinion for it, but they're not really listening to what the message is. And like I've told people, because people have asked me like, hey, what do you think of this?
Shout out I made money off that, man, because I flipped it. I go, hey man, let's prove I'm wrong, man.
There you go.
Hop on the team, man. I'll get you fucking diced up, man.
Yeah.
Fuck genetics. I don't believe in genetics.
Hell no, bro.
People were like, some people were like, fake it. They will hit me back. Some will be like, really? I'm like, come on, man. I trumped that already, man. Look at all my lineup.
Yeah.
I got a fucking pages full of elite warriors. You
Yeah.
think that comment hurt you because you don't have it,
Yeah.
So let's get it.
It's funny, bro.
You know?
It's funny. So going into your fitness program, bro. So I know I read a little bit about your bio. Prior to the pandemic, you were out of shape.
Yeah, fuck, man. I was going through my own pandemic, man. And when I said that, my wife was like, well, because I had said that on my YouTube. I put a little clip about it, and I actually ran it, because when I gave Wes a shout out, that's when I got introduced to him. That's when I met him. So, but my lady kind of like took it around, either like, well, what do you mean you were, going through your own pandemic, mentally, physically, spiritually, you were always a hustler. You were always a provider. Yeah, but she didn't get it. What I meant is like physically, mentally, spiritually within myself. I mean, I still went to work. I still handle business. I still provided for my family. That's just been me. I'm a warrior at heart, man. Warriors are providers. They're hunters. I always had that ingrained in me. But it doesn't mean that inside I was fucking, destroying my own self.
Yeah.
That's what I meant, mentally, physically, because I was letting myself go, even though, I had the money. So now it was more pleasure chasing. I didn't have those attributes of like, hey, you know what, that discipline to check yourself, prioritize your health, I didn't have that. I didn't, I worked out still, but as I was getting older, I was like, damn, wait a minute here. Like, fuck, no, I'm fucking gaining weight. I ain't feeling good no more,
Yeah.
like something's happening. So in my, within myself, mentally, physically, everything that I wasn't like walking depressed and telling people I'm like this, but inside I was broken. I know I was defeating myself and I didn't like it because that was not me. I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't looking good. I wasn't operating in a manner that, uh, I operate, and I was letting myself go, and that's what I meant when I was going through my own pandemic,
Yeah.
throughout that, not that I was, doing what I had to do, but I was not performing at my best. I was actually, you know, uh, going back to my old habits, drinking more, like I kind of like, uh, I was making okay money where like it kept me content, but also like, more comfortable with myself, like there was no purpose. Like
Okay.
I still had like no purpose. Like, okay, well, fuck, I'm living good. I'm living good, but living good, if you don't know how to use it, you will regress and it'll come bite you in the ass.
Right. Right. Right.
Because you'll go back to your old habits.
So
You
you
know.
knew you were going through this, and that's funny that you say that before. That which people don't understand. Like my girl, sometimes she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Well, I got all this shit going through," and I'm like, "That doesn't stop me from going to work. That doesn't stop me from fucking."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
still providing, still doing what I gotta do, get up, do my workouts, whatever it might be. I'm like, I'm just internally fucked up. I was like, because nowadays you'll hear like people be like, they'll say like, oh, I fucking have anxiety, or like I don't understand. I didn't grow
Yeah.
up. Like if I would have told my parents that, they'd be like, shut the fuck up and go to school. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
understand that. And they'll be like, people like, oh, I have this. I don't. I'm sure I've had it,
Yeah.
but we were always told shove that shit in and you go fucking lace
Oh
up and put
yeah,
on
they
your
were like,
work.
well,
You know what I
fucking
mean? Or get
what?
your ass
Yeah,
whooped.
they
You
don't even
know?
know what the fuck that was. They're like, fucking get your ass out of here, man.
So, so in that moments that you were going through that, obviously internally, because I know what you're talking about. I still go through it at times where I'm just like, I still show up, but like internally, there's sometimes where I'm just like, fuck, I'm all fucked up.
Yeah.
Especially having joint custody of my kids when
Yeah.
they leave me and I don't have them. I'm like half of the year, I'm not seeing them grow. You know what I mean? And then the
Yeah.
other half, like shit. He's got to roll with me. They got to do what I got to do, and
Mm-hmm.
whenever I can have time with them, we do what we got to do after this. You know, but what was it in that moment that you were like, I need to find a purpose? And is that when you met Wes? And what were the next steps after that?
Well, there was a lot of, there was a lot of little scenarios that kind of like, came into play for me to fucking like snap, already and say like, enough is enough, man. I'm sick of myself, I'm sick of the way I look. I'm sick of what I'm doing. I'm sick of setting a bad example for my kids, me trying to tell my kids, they work out this and that. There were, in summer vacation, I came home from work, 19, 18 hours that I fucking did. Hey man, you guys gotta fucking do something, man. Walking in, they're laying, playing, so it gets to you. And my youngest, he's my youngest kid, Isaiah. He's like, I told him, man, you don't want to work out and fucking, get built like your dad. And he just looked at me, kind of like, we're at the dinner table. He like, I was like, what? He was like, not really. And I go, what? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, you're chubby. And I'm like, what? Like everybody like stood silent, because he called me out and shit. And my oldest, he just kept eating his food, And I was like, I took it in because he wasn't lying. I was already going through that, so he kind of like, nah, man, that's what I get, And I'm glad he did that because the truth hurts, And why the fuck was I telling him to do something which I was not doing it? I was a sloppy mess,
Right.
And they were seeing that. So it's here we go again. Me like what the fuck am I doing? Like, is this the example? This is the same thing that I'm gonna show my kids that it's okay to do. When you reach a certain point, hey, let off the gas, man. Kick your feet up. Forget about you working out, taking care of your body. You made it. You're comfortable. That's what I was setting.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we had our home. We had our cars. We had we're able to do things, not crazy, but we're good, but I wasn't good, and I wasn't setting a good example, And so that was the main reason, that was the
Got it.
main reason why I was like, fuck that. And like I said, I was going back to like doing more shit, drinking more, getting out of control, and fucking going backwards, like what the fuck? Like I was becoming a mess,
No shit.
Yeah, and it was on, like I said, it was Thanksgiving. We go play some handball with the fellas. A lot of homeboys showed up there, and it was just you know getting a couple of games in and shit. And I always take off my shirt wherever I go. That's just the way I was raised. I'll peel my shirt off and boom, show my ink and shit, proud. And my cousin has said, man, hey man, I got somebody that I know somebody that'll make you put that shirt back on. And I go, fuck, nobody make me put shit back on. He was just playing around, but
Right.
he called me out. And then that's when he introduced me to Wes. And I was like, hey, who's this white boy? And I was like, I kind of looked at him, I was like, what the fuck? I go, hey, motherfucker's on point. The fuck did he do? So I started getting curious and scrolling down. But like I said, what got me is like the message that he was putting out there. And obviously he came from a background that, I was very familiar with.
Right.
So that right there was the hook. It's what hooked me. And that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
You got to be that man that you're going to be able to hook people that are where you used to be, because that's more believable. That was what got me, because I was trying to read all these books, Ed Matled, Tony Robbins, I was trying to find something
Right.
throughout the. I was trying to fucking find like a book that was gonna light the switch on me, but none of those guys did it, because they were like, this guy, like, it doesn't impress me, man. Like, who's it? He sounds good. I'm not gonna lie. They're good books. They're motivational books, but it wasn't coming from somebody that I could fucking say like, well, fuck, this guy understands me. I could relate with this person. So it kind of went one ear out the other with those books, because I read all those books, Stephen Covey, all them. As I was driving, I used to get audiobooks.
Yeah.
And I was already trying to find a way, throughout that little period that of time that I was, already like sick of myself. Like I was like, fuck, man, like I need like to find something. And I used to drive, like I said, I was driving trucks, so I was pop an audiobook instead of fucking listening to all my CDKs that I had already worn out. And but not they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They didn't do it for me. And this guy, he fucking woke me up, and it was the message. Because all the stories, like people say, like, I mean, it's stories. It's just what it's awesome. He has a story, but what fucking got me, it was like fucking the message. Like everything that he was speaking that I was looking for. Personal development, working on yourself, strength through restraint, all these quotes that he was piecing together, and actually, seeing them live it. Because everybody could speak a good one, but if you ain't living it, well, then it's hard to believe,
Yep.
So it wasn't that I believed that I could get, fit like him. I didn't believe it because I didn't know how to fucking get there.
Right.
That, I didn't believe it, but I believe that he believed on his fucking system, on his program so fucking good, and he fucking laid it out and articulated it so well that I believe he believed it so deeply that it made me believe, like, well, fuck, man, let me see what that shit is all about. So a person doesn't have to believe, because even my people, like, they're not going to believe it because they haven't done shit. But I have to lay it in the table and speak about it with such conviction and such a fucking inspiration that they could feel it, so that that I believe it so much and deeply within my soul that they don't believe it, but they believe I believe it, and that's why they're gonna do it,
Yeah.
because I'm making them like, hey, you know what? I'm giving them that hope,
Yeah.
because I believe so strong in what I'm doing. That's power.
I agree,
And,
bro.
you know?
I agree, and I think that's what got me. So, for 42 years of my life prior to this last year, I've never been. I've been skinny and by age and by youth, but like never the healthiness that I've taken my level. And it was because of one thing, and this is what people don't understand. It's like when you find a mentor, it's like there's either going to be something they're going to say, there's going to be messages they're going to say, they're going to live the life like you said, they're going to show you the example. And like myself, I've learned from a lot, but really changed me was that I always used to think that it was like, what's your why? You hear that a lot. Like, you'll do
Yeah,
it for your
you're really,
why, your children, whatever it might be. When you have your why, the who will no longer matter. And I mean, the how will
yeah, the how,
no
yeah.
longer will ever matter. And when Wes said it's like, it's not the how, it's the who you need to become. When I heard that, that's when my whole life changed. That's when I wanted to genuinely seek it, because I was always thinking, when I try to do it for my kids, I'm gonna be healthy for them, I would always fail, you know? When I would try to do it for my girl, I would try to do it for something else, I would always fail. It was because I was trying to do it for others and not for myself. You know what I mean? And when I said, I'm gonna change my life for me, I'm gonna be healthy for me, and everybody else is gonna benefit from it,
Yeah.
that's when it changed, because I started, in a sense, being selfishly wanting to improve myself. And I said, if I could be good by the example of who I am, genuinely my kids will be like, oh, dad's eating this,
Yeah.
I'm going to eat this.
That's
Dad does
gold.
this,
That's
I'm going to
gold.
do this. You know what I mean?
That's power, the way that you put it there, explaining it in that sense, because, I do tell people, like, okay, well, at the beginning, we're full of shit, we're good liars. So I go, let's add some power behind it. Look at your kid, there's your motivation. Kick it off with them, But in our reality, it should be, you doing it for you, because then that's going to bleed to everybody else. Just like you said it, if you were to create that man, the 10.0 you, that right there surpasses, any other motivation or any your reason why, being that you're using like your wife or anybody else that you have, like, to, like, okay, well, fuck, I said it, Sometimes that even, boils down to you even, like, not holding your word up to it. Like, fuck, you said you're going to do it for your kids, and that even didn't even work, So, yeah, that right there it's a lot more deeper, but a lot of people, they're still not fucking ready for that. So it's just like, you got to fucking, like, ingrain it in them and keep on explaining to them exactly what that means. Because I get it.
Yeah.
I understand what you get it, because you got to be the source, You shouldn't have to have that motivation coming from anybody.
Yeah.
It has to be within yourself, because that's what's going to help others. At a certain point, you're tapped into, like, way further than, what people think that, motivation is.
Yep. Yeah. And, and it's beyond, like, the physical body that you create is great, but it's who it makes, who I am, my soul, of what it makes me. It just happens to be that discipline of what I have, that I continuously do on a daily basis, on an inch by inch, is what makes me, you know what I mean? Which tends to be great body, great physique, healthier, you know what I mean? You think clearer, all that, it just comes with it. But it's the individual that you transform.
Yes.
That is, because a lot of people, and I was telling Garrett earlier, I was telling him, people, like, look and they're like, oh, did Wes tell you to do burpees? I was like, nobody told me to do burpees. Like, he's never mentioned it.
I tell my clients, hey, this is not about burpees.
Yeah,
man. I go,
I'm
people
like,
started doing it, and I kicked off. I have pages of my whole team members doing burpees, but it's not about burpees.
It's not. You know what it is? It's my first win. I said, look, whoa, this shit's difficult. Like, it's not easy. And I'm like, I love getting up early in the morning, but what can I do? Have a small challenge. It just gives me my first win. Because people wake up all the time, right? You stub your toe, you hear bad news, you go through Instagram, emails, whatever. What is the first thing that I can control that gives me a little bit of a challenge, that makes me get up in the morning, pumps my blood, and automatically, before I do anything else, gives me a win? Yep. And that's why I got it. And I never asked him, right? I never told him why he does it. I never asked anybody why he did. I just started doing it.
Yeah.
And so I started telling people who jumped on my program and in my coaching that they just started to do it. And they're like, yeah, I did it for 30 days. I'm good now. I'm like, good what? He's like, yeah, I'm good in the burpees, But they're like, I don't feel it. Like, I don't understand what this is. I'm like, I never told you to do it. I'm like, see, you did it for a purpose of thinking that it was going to be change your physique. It was going to make you more money. It was going to do this. And you're taking it all wrong of why you're doing it. I'm like, I do it and I continue to do it because it's just my first win.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, I wake up with my right foot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where everybody, has this misunderstanding, and like you said, like it's who you become through your journey and throughout everything that you're doing, all your struggles and you not stopping. It's the person you became and you're gonna become. It's not what you getting. The results are gonna be there by default. They're already waiting for you just because you're showing up daily. It's who you became through all that because not every morning you're gonna wake up feeling like a champ or a million bucks. Fuck no. Those are the times that you're gonna fucking like that's building you, building you, building you, building you, building you. You know, for you to be able to do shit like that no other man has done before, that right there is fucking power. And that's why he brings it up like, oh, I haven't missed. And last time he has said too, I haven't missed since I started. For me to fucking have that record like that and just the to feel proud that and it wasn't for the aesthetics like you said or anything, but I'm already past that. It's because of what I said. It's upholding my word on what I told my people and what I show my people daily. Like tomorrow, same shit. I'm at the Bonaventure. I'm about to go have a steak after this with my family. Waking up in the morning, do I gotta get up? Yes, because I said it. That's just ingrained in me. My wife, they all understand that already. It's not about me no more. It's about me setting that example and giving people my message that they need in the morning that I put together and, so people feel that.
Yeah. And I learned something right now that completely changed my mindset. And this is what I love about these podcasts and being around, high-level individuals like yourself, which was they don't believe it yet. Like your clients, the people on your team, your warriors, they don't believe it yet. So that's why we got to show up because we believe in them.
Yes.
We are going to do the work. We're going to be the example. We're not going to miss. Even though you don't believe it, I believe it, and let me do it and show you. And that's why I tend to hone in, and I'm like, I can't miss. Wes always says, like, we don't miss. And the reason you don't miss is because we understand that everybody else who's barely coming into this journey, mentally they're not ready.
No.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. It's going to fuck with you, all your old habits. You know what I mean? And so when you don't miss, they lean on that. And they say, hey, coach, I'm going to hang on to your tailcoat until I could stand on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you don't miss and you continue to be the example, eventually those people are going to run on their own. Yeah. But in the beginning, it's so hard for them because they don't have that belief,
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm glad you took that because that's why I put it out there. And that's for all the coaches that are trying to, be coaches. That's why, a lot of them, they fall off or they don't have transformation. I got the best transformations in the game, and I'll say it here anywhere I go because I have results. I have documented it. I have testimonials. I have proven examples, week after week. And it's that. The mindset that you create in your warriors and my warriors of me not missing, of me doing more, of me living what I say I'm going to do. Not just telling them, hey, go do that and me kicking it and not showing up. I show up and I do more. So obviously they're going to feel like, shit, man, this guy, he's not letting off, man. So we got to step our game up. That's where it's at. And me grooming them every Sunday when I have my calls and just putting my feet down and letting them know that, hey, no, man, there is no stopping. There is no ifs or buts. Hard is, life is hard, but we got to keep on pushing, Yeah. Every excuse that you guys have is valid. It's understandable. But, man, life don't stop. I got a lot of people that I got to talk to that it's just more than fitness. A lot of coaches are still worrying about fucking showing you how to do a fucking bicep curl. I don't fucking really do that shit. I post workout videos. Yeah, cool. I know that shit like the back of my hand. I'm trying to touch more in their soul and their mind.
Yeah.
That's where the change begins.
Yeah.
And it's me actually showing up every day and actually having results. Because a lot of people also, they can't speak about it if they're not even doing it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do. They sound good, but you're like, well, fuck you. I don't see you doing it. Like, what kind of example is that? You become a fraud. That's why, and you ain't going to get a transformation like that. People are not, they're going to take you as a joke.
Yeah.
Then they wonder, well, like, fuck, there's nothing's cracking. Well, because you don't even know how to lead right.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I love that's how and you're going back to when you said you met Wes. You were like, he was the example. You know what I mean? In the beginning stages, he was living it. You know what I mean? And you were like, oh, this guy does it every day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you genuinely get. You lean on your mentor, and then he creates warriors, and he creates other people to go out there and go spread it. Kind of like Jesus. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, He walked through here, and it's like, that our ultimate goal, at least for myself, and I know for you and many people, is for you to stand on your own 2 feet and you
Mhm.
be able to do it without me. You know what I mean? In a sense that,
Yeah,
like,
that's my goal.
hey, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Be strong enough to do it, because life is always going to be hard no matter what. I can't be there all the time, but in the moments that you're with me and all that, lean on me. But eventually, I want you to have your own backbone, your own strength, and everything, and continue to
Yeah.
be an example for other people.
And then boom, I set him up. Elite Warrior. I co-signed from. A lot of people that came from my program, Elite Warrior, and I put them up there, and I'm proud of them. That's why they're Elite Warriors. I have a lot of warriors, but to get to that level of me letting them, know that, hey, you know what? Fuck yeah, you got it, man. Elite Warrior, boom. They're proud of that. There's a lot of people that are like, hey, Guerrero, I'm chipping away, man. I want to be in that list. I want to be in that wall of Elite Warriors. That right there is something to be proud of that I created here, and it's a level that people have to get to, that it's not just like, oh, you're an Elite Warrior because, you said so, you're in my team. No, you're a warrior. But elite warrior, it takes more than that. People that I call elite warriors, if you were to talk to them, fuck, man, they're in a whole different fucking state of
Oh,
mind,
shit.
man. You'll be like, oh shit, okay, this guy, they understand me, they understand the language. They know, we not gonna let off, So that's what we're creating here, leaders. I don't want no followers. My goal here is for them to come here, understand it, and become this individual that they're unbreakable, breaking all those limiting beliefs mentally, physically, spiritually. That's my goal here. I don't want them to need me. There's a lot of people that stay around because they love the Zoom calls. They love the interaction. That's different though,
Yeah.
They're already like
The community.
yeah, the community that I have built so solid, so strong. They motivate each other. They tag each other, man. It's awesome. That shit means the world to me, man, because that's something that it's a great feeling, that only a few people get to experience, that once you get there or when you change someone, that's a good feeling,
Yeah.
right? So that, and that right there, to me, that is like my purpose and my goal. I'm locked in, I'm locked in.
I love it, brother. And I love the fact, everything that you do. And I think I asked you, which one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, I think I asked you the first time that I met you, how did you, because you have a lot of content, you don't miss. You're constantly always posting Instagram. I don't know what other platforms, YouTube and everything that you have, your videos. How did you initially take the criticism of people talking shit, and because I'm sure you got that, because
Oh,
everybody's
fuck,
getting
man.
that,
Shit,
and
yeah.
then you get a lot of people that talk shit or make fun of you, whatever it might be, to throw in their 2 cents, especially for somebody who comes from the hood and all that, because all we know is let's fight. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
but the thing is that I'm past that. Even back then in the days, like, like very rare, man. I go everywhere I go, and people act different when they see you face to face. I already know who I am. I already know what I'm about. Nobody's gonna break me over a stupid comment, especially if they're like fucking nobody's. Like no heavy hitter or somebody that's um, walks the walk is gonna fucking throw a comment like that
Yeah.
or fucking be a fucking troll. No, they're about it, man. If they want something, you're gonna put them up, man. And they don't come and fucking they're no fucking key warriors,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I take that as a joke. To me, I'm like, fuck, another one. Like sometimes I miss them. I'm like, fuck, man, I haven't got nothing negative, man. And when I get it, I'm like, oh, something stupid. I'm like, okay, there it is, man.
Yeah.
Somebody got somebody wants attention,
Yeah.
or in my Zoom calls, very rare they'll come in or like, what are you wearing glasses for, motherfucker? Because I look good. What? Like people on my because I was gonna slow down and not do them because I do the live Q&A for everybody.
Yeah.
And man, all my team members are like, nah, man, we like when you do your Zoom calls because people like they come in and then you put them in their place. I go, so you guys find it as an entertainment? They just laugh. They're like, nah,
That's
cool, you
why.
share a lot of wisdom, but
Yeah.
nah, that's when everybody gets to go in there and fucking try to get their best at me. But sometimes I'll educate them.
Is that open to the public, or-
Yeah, I just throw it on Thursday for everybody.
Oh, no
So,
shit.
yeah.
Anybody, even if they're not part of your program.
No, everybody comes in. So
Oh.
they that's why I was saying that when I threw my lives there, it's Tuesday is my Q&As that I hit, And then Thursday is live. I go live, so everybody, I don't know who the fuck, everybody could pretty much come in my live and ask me a question, mindset, fitness, nutrition. But then you get those trolls, you know. That's why that day I got bombarded by that, because I wasn't answering message when they said that about that. I was getting bombarded with message. Hey, did you hear what this? Aren't you? Isn't he your coach? What did he say this or this and that? You know, I was like ignoring all my DMs. Like, I was not fucking answering all these and explain, you know, like, fuck that. But they got me on my live, you know, because they know, like, oh, well, he's going to have his live. We're going to get us over. Like, I want answers.
They waited.
You know? They waited. Man. I want answers. I want to see what he has to say. Got this other guy, hey, man, do you mind me using your pictures, man? Because I'm going to do a video about that and show that, look at, you know, you're on point, this and that. I'm like, and fucking, I didn't even fucking respond back, and he still used them, man. He did a YouTube video, posted me and a couple of my transformation. I'm like, this guy, man, you know, I mean, you got no control over that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's crazy, bro. But you know, so you went through this journey, right? You had your children where they straight, one of your kids told you straight up, Dad, you're a little bit chubby. You know what I mean? You went through this whole phase in your childhood. You've been in and out of the system, through the hood, gang banging, everything, and then you decided, I want to help people. Where did that transition happen? Because originally you just wanted to help yourself, right? You didn't go with the intentions of making this a business.
Nah,
how did that come about?
Shit, that came about once I, you know, sharing my, because I had Instagram, so I was like sharing my journey, what I was doing, boom, boom. As the changes started happening, you know, I was starting to get, you know, hey man, what are you doing, bro? You know, all this, you know, messages, this and that. And actually to see a Hispanic, you know, transforming, you know, which we don't see a lot, you know, and we don't.
Going
we don't
back to Wes's thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't. But
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
changing that shit. I was changing that. And they hit me up. So once he put that transformation there, that motherfucker spread like wildfire. Everybody DMs following me, this and that. So it was like it was only right, man, that, you know, I'll just go, oh, this is my coach, this is my coach, this is my coach. Fucking everybody, you know, my coach. But then everybody like, no, well, what are you doing? You know, are you going to do this? Or, you know, could you help me, this and that? So it kind of clicked, you know. And that's when I hit him up, you know, that to if he could teach me. And I had the post right there. I always have it right there when I started. And I think it was
When was it?
2021, 22, 24. I think 2021 is when I kicked it. 21, 22, 23, 24, 24. Or 2020.
That's
Yeah.
when you started. You were like, let
2020.
me start with this.
Yeah,
business.
January. I have it down to January is when I kicked it off with a DM me for coaching and nutrition.
But bro,
that I kicked.
let me ask you, when you did that, did you think you were gonna make millions?
No, that was funny because when I hit up Wes and I'll have that fucking text right, he's like, oh yeah, you're gonna fucking blow up, you're gonna do good. He's like, watch, your life's gonna change. And I was like, he's pumping me up, man, you know? Like I had the views, I had people hitting me up, but he was like, he's a watch, man, you're gonna kill it, man. You know, you're marketable, you know, you're marketable. You know, there's not that many people like you doing that, you know, you know, fuck, you got an amazing transformation, your people need that, you know? So he already knew that it was gonna crack. I didn't, because here we go again. Like I just ran with it. I just said like, well, fuck, man. Like, it sounds real good, but fuck it, let's run it. And the thing about me is that once I already, like, when I got in, I was not questioning. I didn't question him, and I didn't question myself. I just said, okay, what the fuck do I got to do? Okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. And that's what I did. And like I said, within fucking 6 months, I hit $250,000. Boom. That was already like towards the end, $250,000. Then the following year, I hit $500,000. You know, and I think was it that when I hit $500,000 when I went and got my lady a Escalade, you know, right away, you know, like, you know, I had told her, because back then, you know, all my cars got repoed. Back then in 2016, I went to another fucking bullshit, you know, shit that happened in my life, you know, and I lost all my cars. But so I went in and that was still like, they were like short on cars and shit, you know, and I wanted that new Escalade, and they were like, we don't have it, and blah, blah. I go, well, fuck, man, what do you have now? I gotta take one. I already told her for Mother's Day, I'm gonna get her an Escalade. So I had to get a 2020, the older model, not like mine, but right away I went over there, and I didn't have good credit, but I was making so much money. They're like, well, you don't got good credit, you need cosign. I go, I need it now. What do I gotta do to take this car? You got to give us a big down. It's a big car, you know. Fuck it, how much? 30, fuck it, 30. I'm taking
No
it.
shit.
Yeah, I didn't care, man.
Yeah.
And then my tax lady was like, oh, no, you can't do that. You got to let me know these things. And she was, now I created problems for her
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this is all new to me. Like,
Yeah.
to get money like that, I was like, fuck, to get like, shit, I used to pull like 70,000, I think, on a good year of truck driving, you know? That's if I
Yeah.
was like to live out there like mad hours, you know? This one was like within that time. And then it was just like, it escalated, you know, where it was just became, you know, a family thing where like, you know, I was, at the beginning, I was paying like for editing and all this shit through my YouTube because I kicked everything off that he said to kick off, you know? And if it needed to get paid, I paid it. I didn't give a shit. You know, I was making money, so I was investing. And I was re-upping again to be Coach Moore because I needed to know this through and through. So the first 3 months is 7,500. Then I said, fuck, that's not enough. Another 7,500. Fuck, man. You know, I got to give it another shot. So I signed up again, another 7,500. Towards the end, we were just talking about family. You know, I was already had it all,
Yeah.
you know, locked in, you
Yeah.
know, because my boys were behind it, though.
That's it.
Everybody does, you know, they asked me that before. How the fuck did you blow up so quick, though? Not only because of my appearance and how I look, because I am a pattern disruptor, you know? People are going to stop and see who the fuck is this guy, you know? And boom, once they hear me, once they know that, you know, I provide this service, though, you know, it's like, you know, it's a hook, you know?
Yeah,
Obviously,
absolutely.
it is, you know, and I had it. And I'm going to say that I do got it. But the technology and all that shit, the work that takes to fucking get everything set up, everybody fucking loses their mind with that. Because right after me, more coaches started to come in and fuck, man, if you're not up to par with technology, you're about to break that fucking phone, man, you know? But the reason why I scaled so quick too, and I had everything ready and locked and loaded, because my boys, my oldest, he graduated from Cal Poly for business. You know, my young one, these kids are tech savvy like a motherfucker. So when I used to meet up with Wes, you know, they were there ready. I go, you guys gonna take notes? You're gonna take notes? I need to know this shit because I'm the content. I'm the one that's gonna speak, but I don't know how to fucking link this shit up and trainerize and put, you know. So they were like, okay, boom, boom, boom. And once we were like out of the car and within hours, boom, I had shit running.
That's sick.
You know?
That's dope, bro.
Yep.
That is sick, man. And that's one thing that I
People
loved
were
about your
like,
story.
I went and met up with this coach, and then the wife was like, I told you his kids helped him. And I looked up, you know, because they were talking about
Yeah.
me, like, fuck, this shit's complicated.
Yeah.
We're old school, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Exactly.
know,
And that's
so-
how I was because my girl did everything and she was like, all right, I'm going to set this up. And I was like, honestly, she's like, just talk and like,
Yeah.
even all this with Paul and everybody who helps me on this, it's like all these cameras I bought, they're like, just buy all this. I was like, all right, I'm going to buy everything.
Yeah, and you
but
don't know what the, yeah.
and like, I'm just going to speak and fucking just talk to people. You know what I mean? But, it's I've noticed that that's what connects people. They see the genuine in me, and they're just like, this motherfucker's talking what he knows. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like that's all I talk is about what I know. I tell people I'm just gonna teach you what I know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's been a game changer, man. In the sense that like it's crazy because we all have something to teach people as long as you're progressing to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have the results to back it up. You're not
Exactly.
just talking about it. And that's what determines, you know, your success,
Yeah.
you know, because, you know, people need to see results,
Yeah.
you know, in any area that you're trying to say, you know, or speak on, you know, because nowadays they're like, okay, well, fuck, it sounded real good, but where the fuck's where's the results?
Yeah.
You know, just like these trainers at the gym, you know, like they get dismantled at the gym where I go. Fuck, man. I tell these other online coaches, you guys go to a commercial gym, you guys don't have clients, you guys ain't talking, or you guys ain't it, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
I got about maybe 15 clients at the gym that I go.
That's crazy.
You know, already, because they know, hey, you're Guerrero Fitness. I go, yeah, what's up, man? What's cracking, man?
Yeah.
Want to get right?
Yeah.
Just do it. You know?
That's sick, dude. So what's your plan from now on? Where do you see yourself for 2024 and the next coming up 36 months?
Fuck, I gotta be more organized, man, because I'm all over. Like right now, like I'm available for my clients 24/7. So I gotta have something more structured, just tying everything up, provide more value, get a mighty network for my for my clients, so I could shoot them more information, things that they gotta know, or whatever article I find, you know, just feed them with more knowledge and more information and lace them up even more tighter, and be more able to just help in any way in all areas, and actually I'm doing a event, Revelation event, where I'm going to help people. Again, I did one before, and with my other boy. It was called the Trump event. It was a success, breaking limiting beliefs, talking to people, and really going deep in what the problem is. That most of them is just a lot of, resentment and a lot of, you know, guilt that they have with what they did, and it's just pulling it out of them so they could really, manifest what they want in life. That's a breakthrough, which I didn't see. I haven't seen before till I hit that event with my boy, because he's very knowledgeable on that, and from there I was educated by him, and because he's seen it in me already. He's like, "You're doing a lot that I already do," because he's been in the game for 15 years with the top guys. So he's the one that kind of like, "Oh man, let me show you, man. This is what a breakthrough is. This is how you gotta work, and this is how you end up helping them, through the healing process. But actually, you finding out what the problem is, the root of the problem, within themselves that they have, and they got to be honest with themselves. So, are we gonna sit here and waste time, or are we gonna start talking, and we're gonna go way back and see what the problem is? Where did it start? Every behavior from somebody is learned behavior. There's you learned it from somewhere,
Right.
and we're gonna find the root of the problem. So yeah, it was fucking amazing. So I'm gonna do another one. I might keep doing them, to help other to break all those limiting beliefs.
I love that.
That shit's fucking awesome, and that they came out of there like free, feeling good, and now I get a hold of them, and we, keep in communication, because it's not like, okay, fuck, kick rocks. Nah, man, I always fucking, hey, you hit me up, I'm available for you guys, man. I want to see how you guys are doing, But they released a lot of garbage that they had,
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work for you to be able to have somebody, give you that, you know, give you the like I would say, like it's like they're vulnerable at a certain point where they're gonna have to release a lot of hidden shit,
Yeah.
that they have,
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
everybody's hiding shit.
Yeah, I agree, brother. And then before I let you go and everything, one thing that I want people to understand, and I think because you've been in this more than I have, but in the same time, in the same business and any changes that you want to do in your life, when people come to you, they don't. People think that they come for fitness. It's the mind we got to fix first before anything else, right?
Yeah.
So when people approach you and everything, obviously, yes, people want to get healthy, but they don't succeed just by wanting to get healthy in the exercise, right? What would you say in the mind it is first that needs to change before everything else can follow?
Yeah, well, you have to first. You got to read that individual, because a lot of people, they're ready. They're committed. They're already like excited and pumped up. So you have to be able to read your client, and see where he's at, and see what areas you're gonna have to attack first. Because there's a lot of people that come in here, they're fucking ace it right away. Okay, this guy, he's level headed. He knows what's up. I got people that got paper on the team, which the only area that they're fucking lacking is their fucking health and their fitness. So I attacked that, because they got shit. They're successful. They got a beautiful family, and their mind's sharp, man. They're fucking entrepreneurs, fucking making more cheese than me. But obviously, that's the area that they're failing on. So I gotta attack that. But when I see somebody that's broken, then I know that that's where I gotta attack first. Make them believe that this is possible. Because if I give him a workout, he's gonna be like, "Fuck, I'm not even pumped up to do this shit." A lot of people come to me because they know for a fact that they could talk to me, and I'm able to flip them, where I start with the mindset, breaking all those limiting beliefs, and just getting through to them that they gotta understand that it's a mirror.
Oh.
You're gonna have to face all your bullshit that and it takes somebody that's gonna fucking call them out, because I'm not gonna be pampering them either. So we're gonna get to the bottom of it, but we're gonna go hard on it. So it's finding out what they need. Because a
Right.
lot of people, like I said, they they just give you a plan and they think it's fitness, and it's not, man. This motherfucker, can't get his ass to wake up first,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah. You're right.
yeah,
And that's and a lot of people don't know this, but I hired you to help me on my nutrition. What, a month ago or three
yeah,
weeks ago?
yeah.
And I am not an idiot, brother. Let me tell you, I will find somebody who is great at whatever expertise they are, and I have no problem being vulnerable and asking people to help me. And I think
We're
you
gonna
came
get
to
them chopped.
me and I gave you my macros and I told you, and you were like, "What the fuck? Where did you get this shit from?" And it was a long story, but it's crazy because yesterday my girl was like, "Damn, like you're leaning like even more than
Yeah.
ever before." And I thank you for that because I like to tell people like, hey, listen, like you gotta put your ego to the side. You gotta be vulnerable, and when you're ready for change, you gotta ask for it because it's out there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I have no problem asking people for help. I have no problem paying people to help me. I have no problem investing in myself. I have no problem doing the work because I understand that you, who's transformed many people's lives, will get me there quicker than me trying to figure that shit out. You know what I mean? Because like I told you when I came to you, hey brother, I plateaued, man. I'm not moving anywhere. And what was it that you told me?
Yeah.
Show me what you're eating. Show me
Yeah.
your macros.
Yeah, I want to see where you're at. I'll
Yeah.
break people. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I tried this and nobody has broken this plateau." I'm like, and then I get them. They're like, "What the fuck?" Like I said, I know that shit like the back of my hand. So obviously, I knew for you it was just me giving you the blueprint because see, I'm running into someone that okay. You connect with what I'm saying. Your mindset's on point. If we need to chop it up, we could chop it up. Your level of understanding of what's needed, you're already higher than a lot of other people. So see, now for me, it was just lacing you up with the blueprint.
Yeah.
For me, I would tell you, okay, well, the root of the problem for you is nutrition. It's not going to be mindset because your mindset's already being sharpened by what you're doing. So that's when you ask me that question, it's just there's a lot of ways to come about
Right.
about that and that's where I try to tell these other fitness guys that nah man, you got to be able to ask questions, and be able to help your client with what's needed at the moment because you cannot just think that simple blueprint's gonna help it. We all got the fucking blueprint,
Right.
Everybody has a blueprint, it's not the blueprint. It's what they're buying is you, you know. They want what the results that you're gonna give them,
Yeah.
you know.
I love it, brother. Well, listen, bro. I appreciate you coming by, bro. It's so much of just knowing where you came from that I didn't know myself, and just you've been very inspirational for me, just for the simple fact that the journey that you've had as a child, and maybe I didn't have it as rough or some of the disciplines that you've gotten, but nevertheless we understand, the just the stuff that we grew up, man, how we were in our families, our cultures, and everything like that, and individuals like yourself that are changing a lot of people's, minds and bodies and health and everything like that. And I salute you for that because it takes a lot, man. It takes a lot, and you always, if people go onto your page, man, you never miss, and you're always giving out more than I've ever seen anybody else, bro. And you're so disciplined. Where can people find you if they want to find your Instagram, your fitness, and also the event that you got coming up?
Yeah. Thank you, Big Dog. I appreciate you first and foremost. I gotta, show gratitude for giving me that chance and the opportunity to come to your show as well, Big Dog. And I know you resonated a lot because when I heard your story, I'm like, damn, okay, it's similar. So we connected in that sense, and the beautiful thing is that, you gave us this platform to be able to, show where we come from so other people could see that, nah, man, it's possible. And that's what it's all about, So for people that don't know me, I'm Guerrero Fitness. You guys could find me on IG as Guerrero_Fitness, YouTube, Guerrero Fitness Lifestyle, and TikTok. I'm on Facebook. That's the same, my same handle that I use on IG for that, So you guys could find me there. And, like I said, we're riding together, and our event's going to be February 9, 10, and 11 in Orange County. And you guys could DM me for that too. And it's going to be amazing. A lot of breakthroughs that we're going to have, which I already done before, and show you guys what I did because it's about asking questions and, understanding that if an individual did it, you could do it too. It's believing in yourself, but obviously it takes somebody that they could connect with, and that's when we come in handy. That's why we're so valuable, and that's why I'm here to teach you guys and show you guys how I did it. How the fuck did I went from driving trucks 19 years to where I'm at now, coming from Mexico, living in a household that was not the greatest, and push through, not let that defeat you or define, or created a destiny, which a lot of people are, well, my destiny is fucked because that's what I was raised, that's how I was raised. And none of that shit, man. That's a belief of yours. We got to break all those limiting beliefs.
I love it, brother. There you go. If this isn't an underdog story, I don't know what is, man. Congratulations on all your success, your health, your family, your income, the changes that you're doing in lives. And I look forward to having you again, brother.
Oh, this was
and
awesome.
We'll chop it up again, man. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us here at Tales of the Underdog. Until next time, have a good night.